Greetings and welcome to Growth Hacking Secrets Show. I'm your host, Muhammad Siddique from Atlanta, Georgia. On this episode, we have a special guest, Axelrad. Brad is the founder of Face Your Dragon. Beside Face Your Dragon podcast, beside being a podcast host, he has done so many amazing things in his life. I have noticed it over last many years. And one of them is the latest is the PPE. He is building a platform which is going to help the world right now, connecting the brokers and suppliers. Please join me to give a warm welcome to our guest, Brad Axel. Brad, welcome.
It's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Brad, first of all, congrats to you and wish you all the best on your new platform, PPE, because your success will help all of us to become safe as soon as possible. So I'm wishing you for my own selfish reason, okay?
Fair enough. We'll take it. Thank you.
Yeah. So let me start with this. Where were you? What happened? Who you were surrounded with that inspired you to get started with your PPE platform?
Well, geez. I kind of want to take the story back a little further than just this platform because there's a little bit of relevant information there. I mean, we met through a mutual friend, Alex Mendozian, and got into the personal development space and consulting. My father died, and it was after that moment I realized I wanted to really create some impact and have some fulfilling work in the world. So I became the Orange County graduate facilitator for the Hoffman Institute. It's one of my favorite works on the planet for deep transformational work. And being around the entrepreneur community for years before that, and 17 years after that, it's been a long time. I've been around, building technology platforms, building marketing funnels, building businesses as co-founders of a couple technology platforms and a blockchain company. And all of that sort of led me up to getting pulled into the PPE space when we were producing monthly biohacking events in Irvine, and we were selling licenses around the world for this replicable license model. And I got pulled into this PPE space from a very large company, the founder of a very large company. And that kind of led to where we are today. I can share more, but I'll stop there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wonderful. So you can share more because the PPE is something that everybody's listening in right now, So
Will do.
How big is the platform right now and where you're taking it?
Yeah, the pain in the industry was this, when I got pulled into it, being a marketer for all these decades and being able to turn up a lot of digital marketing very quickly, I was able to get a lot of business very quickly. But the problem with that was, and still is, that there's a breakdown in high quality suppliers and workflow and process and systems to get supply from high integrity suppliers. So what we've created is an ecosystem where a supplier will load their supply on the platform, all the information, videos, certifications, photos, product details, all the relevant information so that a broker can come log into the platform, search for the information, communicate with the supplier to find out if it's real, to find out other information about it, right? Pricing, shipping, anything that's relevant, to then send a quote off to the buyer. So we're speeding up the process of sourcing and finding relevant needed PPE supply and getting it in the hands of buyers in a much faster rate from vetted suppliers.
Mm-hmm. So you guys actually vet those suppliers from your team, or is this all the online vetting, or is it actually physically inspecting the places?
Yeah, great question. So it's we're not physically inspecting their warehouses. If there's multiple steps to vet the suppliers. They come through. We do lots of web research if we feel the need to run a background check. But if we get to the point where we feel the need to go that level, they're probably not a fit. Mm-hmm. We have a conversation with them. Most of them are 5-10 year medical supply companies, durable medical equipment suppliers. They were clothing manufacturers or fabricators for years, and they pivoted over to PPE. They're really folks that have been in business for a long time and have done a lot of big business for the most part.
In other words, you are actually interviewing them, and they have all the credentials on paper to verify. Basically, that's what you're doing.
That's one of multiple steps. Yes.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. So that's a very pressure and high intense work, because every day is taking you more time. And I really appreciate you came on the show, because it's costing so many lives all around the world,
Unfortunately, it's very true. And I've been blessed to have both gotten COVID twice now, believe it or not, and have gone through it pretty well. I got it once in Thailand a year ago, January, and it was really bad in my lungs. And then fast forward, I'm currently in Playa del Carmen, Mexico for the last 3 months. And, it was fine all year. But then I come here, and I think it's just because in these, touristy areas, I was in Thailand, like I said, and then here, there's just people from all over the world coming.
Yeah.
So I've been blessed and honored to have gone through it twice, and pray that I didn't spread it somehow or some way. I was pretty cautious with what I did there, but it is definitely taking lives. It's very sad. It's very, very hard on the lungs. Obviously, I'm stating the obvious, but my lungs took months to heal, and I'm a pretty healthy guy.
Yeah, I know that. We have met in person. So, Brad, you have launched so many companies over the period, many funnels, many companies, and also you're launching using all their experience, what you already know, and using in this PPE platform. So what are the top 3 missteps to avoid when you're launching a solid platform or business?
Well, I would say that the biggest misstep is I guess the easiest way to frame that is like scope creep or feature creep, meaning getting a version 1 live. And we built this thing, and the founder of LinkedIn said, if you're not embarrassed by your first release, you didn't release soon enough.
Oh, that's a good
one. Yeah, and being a recovering perfectionist, like I'm sure you have some of that, and many others who are watching this have that perfectionistic thing, because we want to look good and not, put something out there that doesn't look good.
Yeah.
Release fast, build in an agile environment, meaning we got it out to people, and users on the platform to give immediate feedback, so that we can build it based on what's needed in the marketplace, not what we think is needed. So that's number 1. Quick to market, agile environment, get feedback. Number 2, systems, processes, procedures. Building infrastructure in a way that, or not building it in a way, I should say. We're talking about the mistake. So ad hoc building everything without infrastructure, procedure manuals, documentation, keeping clear documentation as to how we're building and what the procedures are. Let's see, a third one. I always go back to diet, the mistakes of caffeine addiction. I watch so many people who are in these environments that are completely addicted to stimulants instead of proper nutrition. So the mistake of getting on the caffeine train and then being stuck on that without having a better way of, having sustainable energy. I take a lot of supplements, bone broth, other vitamins and nutritional things to keep the energy high. As entrepreneurs, we need a lot of energy. We exert a lot of energy. And I think the biggest mistake there would be to try to dope up on caffeine and just burn your adrenals out and hit total burnout.
That probably helped you on your second COVID easily, because you got this COVID second time. So that really helped you, big time probably on that side, because your immune system, you are on supplements and, healthy person,
Oh, I think so. And, when I was in Thailand, I didn't have as many supplements because I just went over there for just over a month. But this time I knew I was coming down here, brought a suitcase. I never bring a suitcase. I always bring a carry-on and another backpack. This time I had a bunch of supplements. You're right. Oregano oil, like garlic, all these things that are really helpful for things like COVID.
Great. I appreciate it. I'm so glad you recovered, get this over.
Thank you.
And yeah. So Brad, so what are your top 3 success secrets in your business life?
Success secrets. Well, I mean, I could just say they're the opposite of what I shared, but let's see. So outsourcing has been a huge part of building all of my businesses. Studying the 4-hour work week 16, 15 years ago, and having that like as your Bible, for lack of better terms, and the foundation of building a remote business. I'm able to live and work from anywhere, and that was the goal. So understanding how to best outsource is a big thing. Letting go of control and allowing someone to do the work for you. That's a big success secret. Let's see. Another success secret, I think, is understanding how to build the right team, which of course I failed in that regard many times. So leadership, being able to pick the right team and lead the right team. I think inclusivity is a big thing. Studying things like the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. The 8th Habit is another really good one on team leadership. Studying leadership books. A friend of mine, Dave Logan, was the youngest associate dean in the Marshall School of Business in not sure what happened on the screen there, but studying his book, Tribal Leadership. He had Tony Hsieh, the late Tony Hsieh was very heavily involved with him, but studying leadership material is really good to hire the team and then the right team and then work with the right team. And I would say something I've learned in recent years is I'm learning that I work best when I am the leader and I've built something and I sort of joint venture and partner with others versus coming on with partners. There's that saying of, if you want to go somewhere fast, go alone. If you want to go somewhere far, do it together. Something like that.
That's true. Yeah.
And I'm not sure I totally agree with that. I see it conceptually, but in my experience of partnering with multiple people, I've found that business partnerships are probably one of the hardest relationship of all.
Yeah.
And I think what I'm suggesting there is build your own castle with your drawbridge and a moat, and be really clear who you allow across that bridge into your kingdom.
Yeah.
So just again, choosing. I personally don't like business partners as much as building it and sort of joint venturing or aligning with others.
Yeah. Because when something doesn't go right based on the way you wanted it, the same expectation is not delivered, it's easy to disconnect. Business partner is like that, is messy,
Yeah, it's messy, it's tough. And I can go far and fast outsourcing and building teams. So that's personal preference. I'm sure others would completely disagree with that.
Definitely. No, great. Brad, the growth hacking secret to community, how we can support you, what you're doing?
Well, I mean, you could just check out what we're up to at ppecure.com. That'd be really great. Go see if you know anyone that's looking to support hospital systems, corporations, governmental agencies with finding high quality PPE from vetted suppliers. And then also, if you're curious to understand the number one hidden fear stopping you from earning what you're worth, which of course we all have ups and downs, which is oftentimes fear, just go to couragequiz.com, take the 1-minute quiz to discover which hidden fears stopping you from earning what you're worth. That's couragequiz.com.
Yeah, I'm going to show that too on the site.
Awesome.
Yeah, couragequiz.com. So my English is correct. I spelled it.
That's correct. That's correct. You got it.
Yeah, no, it's a 1-minute quiz. What they should expect in after a 1 minute is a magic.
Well, I don't know if you can get magic done in a minute, but you'll certainly get more clarity, in particular if you're a coach or consultant, because that's really a lot of our background, right, is working with coaches, consultants, and that can be a tough business, and a lot of fears get in the way from building the business, creating the content you want, and the quiz is going to help you get clear on what's stopping you from sharing your message and going out and finding clients. It's really what it's about.
Wonderful. Brad, anything which you like to share? I didn't ask you.
Anything I'd like to share in what way?
Anything I like to share, I didn't ask you to get around to it. Anything else you like to share?
Or anything else? Well, I think, as entrepreneurs, the biggest thing is to, we've got to grind without a doubt, but it's also important to know when to sort of pull things in. So, slowing down, going and playing. We're going to probably take a little break here, go to the beach for a couple hours, even though I have 14 things I could be doing, and then come back and do some work. So work your freaking butt off, but also take breaks and have some fun.
Yeah. Spend the time with yourself.
Yes.
Very important. That's the key part.
Nature in particular.
Yeah, nature, definitely. Brad, I love to ask this question to every guest who comes on my show. And here's the question: what would you say to your best friend about growth hacking secret show when I'm not there?
What would I say to my best friend about the growth hacking secrets?
Yeah.
About the show?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's a really interesting question. I think it's important to study and hear what people have to say, like Muhammad and myself, and they were really good questions, Muhammad. I've appreciate your interviewing skills, and I've done a lot of interviews on the Facial Dragon podcast with major thought leaders like Don Miguel Ruiz and Gay Hendricks and Ariel Ford and JP Sears, and for you to be able to keep a conversation going is really great. It's not easy to do, and you're doing a great job. I'm sure the other interviews are awesome as well.
Yeah, thank you so much for your kind words. I appreciate it very much. Brad, as we are about to wrap up, what would you say as a final word?
Flexibility.
Okay, flexibility. That's the key word. Thank you so much, Brad Axelrad, for sharing your wisdom with us today on the behalf of Growth Hacking Secret Show community and our entire team. We really appreciate you. This is Muhammad Siddique signing off from Atlanta, Georgia. All good wishes.